So yeah, let me get rid of that there. Let's see. So we're at about 400 that I can see here. So I think we can kind of get started, but did you have any initial thoughts, Kelly, on this whole thing?
Yes. So I was going to also pull up, I don't know if you were going to pull up that same list. I was thinking it would be cool to go through the list, of TPUSA lies, that Candace
Mm.
had mentioned earlier, I guess this week, last week, on the show, within the last few days on the show. I would assume that those will be on her bullet points. But from a lady's perspective, and a lot of us have talked about this interesting dynamic that Candace and Charlie had, and you can kind of feel it when I talk about like feeling someone's personality and vibe kind of through the screen. I do get a sense that Candace and Charlie had a very uniquely special and sincere connection.
Maybe
And
beyond friendship.
not that it was necessarily
Romantic?
romantic, but it
Yeah.
could have been. It could have been. Sometimes there's definitely some flirting there. And I think what some people will call work wife, but they definitely had a fun and playful relationship. And so I think that there's a good possibility that Erika was very jealous of that. I just don't think she held a candle to Candace in that regard.
Yeah, and this is a good question. Where's the meeting? There's no information about it.
I had heard that Candace was already planning on going to Arizona.
The TPUSA.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
so for people that don't remember, there was the original meeting, the original challenge, right? The original challenge by Blake Neff and the team for her to come there live and debate them about all the accusations. And it sounds like she was going to like strong arm her way in there. But now it looks like her and Erica are going to meet one on one. And that we don't, they may not tell us what comes out of it, but there's some pre conversation before I started the stream. And some people were saying, like basically, I'll just pull this up now. I'll pull up this list that I had here. So this is the official tweet. So Erika Kirk, she said, Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December 15th. All right, that's tomorrow. Real Candace Owens and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. Thank you. So they're stopping all social media, all interactions, all public posts until after this meeting. So that makes some people speculate that this is a legal thing. She may serve Candace some papers, cease and desist orders, and some gag orders. What do you guys think?
Well, okay. While the chat is weighing in, I it would be wild if she opened some sort of the legal door, I think, because that's a whole Pandora's box that I don't think that would be wise to open right now for her. She's got way too many irons in the fire that Erika has way too many irons in the fire to be messing with that right now.
All right, I'm going to first I'm going to start with this poll. Is
Great idea.
Candace safe? So we'll do that one, let that run.
Now, while you're checking on that, I'm curious, did Candace tweet anything herself before that? Like, did she put out the same statement, or did she only reply or repost Erika's?
Yep, she just replied. So she said, "I am very much looking forward to this discussion." That's all she said.
So that looks to me that looks like a power move that Erika made as a condition of this agreement.
Yes.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah, and that's why people think this might not be
Icky.
safe, right? Now, we can cover the allegation stuff here in a second, but let's look at this poll. So we're looking at 57% say no, that she's not safe. 43% say yes. Interesting. 60% no, 40% yes. Okay, so staying in about that range. I would say that Tim Pool accused Candace of not having security detail. I guarantee she will have security going to this, and her husband will probably force her to, even if she doesn't want to. So she'll be safe, unless there's like some kind of Hollywood style shootout or something there between the two different sets of security. I think they'll both be safe. But is
Right.
this going to create a situation where she pisses her off more and then she makes herself more of a target? That's what I'm thinking. Because
Yeah.
Candace is not backing down.
I mean, I hope that she doesn't back down. That's certainly my hope.
Yeah, she was on Jimmy Dore. Why wouldn't she be safe with her rotund security guard? That's funny. Why would
Oh,
Candace
yeah,
not be
her rotund security guard.
Yeah, that's funny. So why would Candace not be safe, Liberty dude? Just because of what happened to Charlie. So not knowing who did it, not knowing what the connections are, what happened behind the scenes.
What people are capable of, you
Hmm.
know? Even if they're even if they're able to set something up that doesn't happen at that moment, that happens, you know, shortly after the fact.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking she'll, I think for the most part, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just what happens after. And then what's the topic, right? So let's look at this here. This is kind of what I pulled. I pulled all of her different posts and stuff. So this is Candace Owens allegations targeting TPUSA leadership and staff. But the first question is, what are Erika's motives? So for everyone in the chat on all the different platforms, I think we have X, Rumble, YouTube, and what else do we have over here? We have one more, TikTok.
There we
So
go.
on all those different platforms, put in the chat, what do you think Erika's motives are? Put a 1 if you think they are sinister, and put a 2 if you think that they are actually positive, like she wants to make a connection. Or my thoughts was, what if she wants to pull Candace Owens back into TPUSA to combine forces? So put a 1 if you think it's nefarious, and put a 2 if you think it's good-willed. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm thinking too. Yep, a lot of 1s, a lot of nefariouses.
Now let's remember AmFest is also this week.
That
And
is right.
so
What date is that?
I think it starts when I want to say Wednesday.
Let me
So
look. Let's
this
see. Yeah,
timeline just really gives me the ick.
18th through the 21st. Yeah. And it seems like this year too, they are really only allowing people that are fitting their narrative. They're not allowing any alternative or competing voices.
Yeah, and it's a lengthy list, that's for sure. And that list is quite interesting when you look at all of the speakers.
Now, could you imagine? This is just like a little side mental game.
Mhm.
What if they did combine forces? What if Candace Owens got pulled back into TPUSA in some kind of partnership and she became a voice for them again?
Well, look, I mean, as far as I know, she is still we should check right now. Is she still on the website? Because as of a few weeks ago, she was still on the website.
Candace Owens?
Yes.
What? Let me look at
Yes.
that.
Yes.
What was she under?
For Blexit. Yes. She
Oh,
was still,
yeah, that's right. Well, she still is Blexit, right?
yes.
Her and did you know that it was Officer Tatum?
Yes.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know that Officer Tatum and Candace have a nonprofit or whatever that is together. They have a business together.
Oh, that's funny. Said what? Erica working on Shabbat? Yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
if she shows up on. But she has made sure to say that they're having a very special Shabbat dinner.
Yes.
That's going to be a big event.
With their phones. Everyone's going to put their phones in their drawers.
Oh, that hey, how much do we want to bet that people are going to be putting their phones in under lock and key for like most of Amfest?
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and we got a good amount of people in here. Let's go ahead and get started on the main topic, which is reviewing the allegations that Candace Owens has made. Now, if you have another list, Kelly, feel free to bust
Okay.
that out. But this was basically everything pulled from all the allegations that she's made in all the
Okay.
different areas so far. I think it's pretty comprehensive, but if I miss anything, just
I'll
scream at me.
chime in, you know.
All right, so let's cover the first one. So, betrayal and inside job of framing. So, Owen says that she believes Charlie Kirk was betrayed by TPUSA leadership and some people around him. Now, that was the biggest thing that I think pissed off Erika Kirk because she says that's her family.
Yeah, and I think at one point, I feel that Candace did say maybe even everyone. That, you know, I think I feel like I remember Candace even using the phrase "everyone," but
Mm.
whether she said everyone or some of the people around, yes, and I think what we visually see, it appears to me that, you know, there was a lot of weird things going on, and there has been a lot of, uh storytelling shifting, I think is a nice way to put it, a very politically correct way of putting it.
Well, and just to give you an
What do you
example
think?
of that,
Yeah.
look at the latest thing with Frank Turek and Erika Kirk. Erika
Mm.
Kirk said no, he didn't have. She said I have his phone, which is kind of weird anyway, right? Because it's evidence. But she said Charlie didn't say anything about anyone trying to kill him or threatening him. And then Frank Turek came out and and basically like made her a liar, or she made him a liar. And he said no, Charlie was in fear of his life. He told me that. He said that they're going to kill me or they're trying to kill me. So now it's to the point where like who's lying? They're kind of hurting themselves, right? They're digging a ditch with their own lies, and it's I don't want to say it's fun to watch because obviously I don't want anyone to suffer, but I think Candace kind of got them upside down, and now they can't get their stuff right up.
It is a psyop within a psyop within a psyop, it seems, really. Uh, you know, and I think you might have mentioned that last night, that it seems like that it could be multiple psyops going on. I saw, I believe last night, sometime last night or this morning, do you know what Tatum Brandon is it Tatum Tate's wife, what her handle is? I think she's pretty vocal about things. Anyway, I think that she had posted a video. I know that I saved it in either Instagram or X. But anyway, the allegation was that that initial video of Frank Turek had actually been edited somehow, and
Interesting.
that people were splicing it in a way to take what he'd said out of context. So I hadn't had a chance to look into it any further, but I thought if that's what they're trying to do is go back and rewrite history, this is getting going to get so messy.
Well, and to that end, do you want to tell everyone what's been happening with the social media accounts of the various TPUSA people?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, people have been, you know, deleting entire accounts left and right. You know, all sorts of videos of Charlie Kirk's have been disappearing while being then replaced with new videos. So try a little bait and switch kind of game. So they hope that people don't notice, but you know, the internet sleuths do. Uh, and then even while some of the content creators, you know, have been really diving deep and sharing some unflattering videos, streams, live, things have literally been pulled off while people have been sharing them live, even last night. Matt, you feel like you had something that was scrubbed in real time.
In real time. Yeah, I was looking at a news article and they were talking about Hunter Kozak, and I read it. I read it live in the stream, and then I went back to that same page maybe what 5-10 minutes later,
Yeah,
and that section, that paragraph was gone. They had pulled it out.
that is so wild. That's scary.
All right, let's see.
So at this point, it just seems like anything is possible.
They took her off a week and a half ago, so they're saying that Candace is already pulled. Is that true?
Oh, can we break some news tonight? Again?
Interesting. Let's look this up. And by the way, the website is not that great. The way it's laid out and organized. All right, let's see. Staff.
Well, you'd think for $100 million a year company, you know, 80, 90, $100 million a year nonprofit, they could get a solid website up and running and keep it updated.
Barron was saying he was thinking that they were close to 200 to 250 million this year.
Now,
Yeah.
yes. Man, they're gonna need to get some new accountants come this year.
Let me see. Let me show this. So would she be under staff? She's not board of directors. So under staff, is Brexit even listed? Nope. Brexit's gone. Faith, what would it be? College, not high school. What is it under events? I'm not sure what area it's in. Let me look. Development.
Someone says bottom one.
Education, TPUSA Rise. That's Pierre Wilson. I don't see anything for Brexit. Brexit used to have its own.
That's what I was thinking, that it had its own
accordion. Yep. So it is gone. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, they pulled off Dan Flood and Harpole and all that kind of stuff too. I think it's Corinne Marie. Is that his wife? Does that sound familiar?
No, this must have been a different one. Here, I'll take a look and see, because I know that I saved it.
All right, so while you're doing that, we'll go on to the next thing. TPUSA insiders were involved. Theory. So she reported that, let's see, reporting summarizes Owens as baselessly suggesting. Now, no, I didn't say this. This is this is the data that it pulled, suggesting that TPUSA insiders were part of a plot around the killing. So now this is her not just saying that it was an inside job. This is her directly basically saying that that TPUSA killed him. So that's a pretty strong allegation. I think she stands that she didn't actually say that. She just said there was some funny business. That's correct, right?
I would say so. Yeah, I definitely think she has implied that in various ways, no doubt.
Yeah, they did scrub and pave over the scene. I did have one comment about that yesterday, but my thoughts on it is, if you have the FBI and CIA and police and everyone there, like they said they did, Kash Patel was there, so we're good to go.
My argument is that it's still too soon, that, there are, especially given the 33 hours, right, that Tyler was arrested, for him to have, defense attorneys to even want to take a very cursory initial look at the scene. They had no opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah, there's yeah, so Tyler, that's a whole different thing. I see a lot of people talking about Tyler in the chat, but so I would say that she never said they would kill, that they actually killed them. She said that she felt like people were lying and the stories didn't match, and this seemed strange that they were silent, right? They didn't say anything
I just
for
think
3
she
months.
said involved over killed him. I don't recall something. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't quote killing, so
definitive. I have seen several people ask why we would put this out, or why not we, but why Erika and Candace felt the need to announce this meeting on X. And I think that because they knew so many people were waiting for this highly anticipated event that TPUSA had stated a week ago was going to be happening, with or without Candace. So they needed to go ahead and let everybody know, don't be counting on, us to be having our big, our big announcement, our big session where we go through all of our bullet points. Candace and Erika are going to meet first.
Well, some people are saying, why didn't they do the meeting publicly? Like, why did they do a live stream? I think it's because of what I was saying earlier. I know there's a lot of new people that are in here, and welcome everyone. I see that more people are coming in, but I think it stems from Erika Kirk, like Kelly was saying, it's a power move, right? So she wants to pull Candace in, possibly intimidate her, and or do the opposite, pull her in and do the mom thing, right? Like, oh, I care about you. I don't want to keep doing this infighting and stuff. Why don't you and I join forces, right? Or legal stuff, saying, Candace, you better stop talking about this. Here's a gag order, and here's a cease and desist order. So We don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know if they're going to be honest about what happened. I'm sure if Candace gets a cease and desist or a gag, that's going to be hell for her because she talks about everything. She's bold and she's not scared of anything. So I don't know if she would actually stick to it. She'd probably just try to fight it. Let's see. So we have Andrew Colvett. So Owens claims that TPUSA spokesperson Andrew Colvett told her that Charlie had texted him about death threats the night before the shooting, and then implied either Colvett and or Erika is lying because Erika denied such messages existed. And that's kind of that was a more recent thing too that was brought back up. Andrew Colvett also scrubbed his social media. I believe he went private on X. Is that correct, Kelly?
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. And then he deleted, I believe, his entire Instagram account.
Interesting. So Andrew Colvett, what was his role?
He's the spokesperson for TPUSA.
Okay. So he's like the PR guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he is very, very frequently on the Charlie Kirk show. He has made, a lot of the statements about the amazing, magnificent Mikey McCoy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, let's see here. Next one. Stop me proving I'm lying posture. Okay. So in the same dispute context, reporting says that Owens argued she'd stop. Now, this is a big point. Said she'd stop if Erika could specify what lies Owens is spreading. So basically, everyone took this as Candace Owens saying, if you tell me to stop, Erika, out of respect for you and Charlie and the relationship you had and everything else, I will stop. And then, like Kelly showed yesterday with her crazy eyes,
oh my God,
she said stop. And apparently Candace is not going to. So Candace made it seem like she had less trust now based on the interviews and things that have come out. So she's not sticking to her word, but maybe for good reason, right?
Maybe. I guess it remains to be seen.
I'm going to see this final poll here. So we have, so 66% that Candace is not safe going there. So they don't think she should probably go. All right, let's do the next poll. So the next one is are Erika's intentions good or bad? And this one is, we're not assuming she's going to try to take her out, right? This is just more like, is she going to threaten her or is she going to welcome her into the fold? And I think, it's important. I see your super chats. We're going to get to them. Thank you too. And obviously, hit the like. Make sure you guys subscribe. The like is the biggest thing that you can do to help get this out and for YouTube to push it to the algorithm. And make sure, if you guys don't know who Kelly Raybon is, make sure you guys go check her out on X and YouTube. She is not yet monetized on YouTube. So we need to get her to 1,000 subscribers. So if you can go over to Kelly Raybon on YouTube, it's RABON, and then subscribe over there and help her get to 1,000.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anything and everything helps. I really appreciate it, you guys. We've been putting in that hard work.
All right, let's move on to allegations aimed at TPUSA security. Now, we know about Brian Harple, and there's some interesting information. I don't know if this is necessarily breaking news because Valhalla VFT covered this, but he did mention in his stream, that was, what day was that? I think it was 2 days ago. He mentioned in his stream that the Brian Harple being in Arizona for this meeting, this top secret high level meeting, was basically debunked by another YouTube, I guess, investigator, if you want to say, kind of like, what's his name? Like Jesse on Fire, one of those guys.
Okay.
One of them has information and proof that Brian Harple was not there. So in his stream, he was so confident about that he just straight up said Brian Harple wasn't there. That's a dead story.
Interesting. Well, we haven't heard Candace address that yet at all, right?
She hasn't brought it back up.
No.
I think his name was Harry. She hasn't brought Harry back up again.
Okay.
All right. So it says, so this 911 call. Owens posted a thread claim framed as no one called 911 and specifically targets Brian Harple. And based on sources so far, someone actually did it's not a FOIA, but it's similar. Someone did a request and they found out that, yes, there was no 911 call from anyone on the security team during that time period. So, I mean, if you're taking your person you're protecting who they've been looking after for like 7 or 8 years now at this point. You're running them to the hospital. You think someone would have called 911 as part of their protocol.
Yes, and in fact, given the amount of people who were in that vehicle, but I mean, beyond just the people who were in that vehicle, I think he said that he had 12 or 13 security guys there that day. So, surely there was somebody on the security team who could have made that call to let them know that they were on en route. But even if it would have been someone in the vehicle, it sounds like Frank Turek really would have had his hands free because he was in the way back of the Yukon or whatever the SUV was.
I see the feedback on the poll. Let me redo that one. I had some bad English. Let's see. Is Erika? I'll just say our Erica's intention's good. The way I worded it, it wasn't a yes or no.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't see it from my end.
Yeah,
I would have helped you
apologize for
out
that.
and made a suggestion.
Yep, I apologize
Also,
for
I
that.
did put if we want to take a look, well, we can wait until after we make it through the list if you want. Because I did in our chat, in our private chat, I did put the 2 versions of that video to see if we can even see a difference if we want to play with that later on.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like a plan. All right, let's go. News reporting notes Owens has repeatedly brought in suspicion onto people close to Kirk, including figures around TPUSA, which has fueled harassment concerns cited by others. So now remember, she came out in her interviews with her eyes intense, staring, and she said that they've had death threats. She said they've had threats for her children to be kidnapped. We don't have proof of that, but I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised. There's people like us who report and do YouTube and stuff. I mean, sometimes we get threats, we get emails. I've had several comments where people tell me, I better stop or else. So I would not be surprised if Erika Kirk and her children and the TPUSA staff are getting death threats. And that's something.
Yes, but I have a tough time with that one because the way that they handled the alleged death threat on Benny Johnson, and that's my barometer. Okay. We can take a little gander at that one if you want. Because I specifically remember, I believe it was like 3 weeks or maybe 1 month after. Oh, there's me.
Yeah. So people are saying they can't find you. So it's Kelly.
Oh.
It's Keli.
Oh.
Rabon,
Oh, thanks for pulling
Rabon.
it up. Yeah, Keli, 1L.
And you can see she has 467 subscribers. We need to get her to 1,000.
We can do it, right? Go team.
Yeah, I mean, we have 1,500 people just on YouTube alone. Half
a
of you
little
go over there.
subscribe doesn't cost you a cent.
So there's that. Yeah, I think. Let me get back to it here.
But yeah, so when it came to the Benny Johnson thing, they had this whole press conference. They had apparently arrested someone. I had mentioned yesterday or whenever we talked about it last that I needed to look back into it and see if anything had come of that situation. But, apparently they had really investigated that, taken it seriously, and, and got the guy. And I'd never seen, honestly, in my life, I had never seen someone who had a pub, I wouldn't even call him he's not a public official. So, I mean, he's a random person. Okay. He's a blogger. He's a commentator. Anyway, stand up at the podium alongside, alongside the, I can't remember which person with DOJ he was with, but anyway, with Pam Bondi, is that who he was with? Anyway, standing up there doing this big old press conference, arresting some guy. And so that if in fact there were these serious, legitimate death threats, they would be making a whole spectacle of that. So I have a tough time with that one.
Thanks for those that are subscribing to Kelly. She's awesome. And you'll see she's also on X. She's very, very active on X.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we have some people that are saying, did Erica write this paper? So what I did, I use Grok and I also use ChatGPT and I play them against each other. And I said, basically pull everything that is substantiated, that is actual legitimate social media posts by her, by Candace Owens specifically, that Erica would want to address. So that's kind of where this paper came from. And this is something I could share if anyone's interested. And I think Kelly, you have some lists as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, let me pull that up real quick. So Candace let's see, was that what you pulled yours from kind of too?
No, mine was organic.
Okay, gotcha. I had actually tweeted a few weeks ago, I guess a couple of weeks ago. Well, I think this was when Mike, oh no, was it Mikey? When what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm getting so tired of talking about all these guys.
Was it Tyler?
No, gosh, not Tyler. Oh gosh, not Andrew. Oh my gosh, y'all help me out. Blake Neff, the one who they always throw out when they don't want to have to talk about anything, and they just make Blake talk about it.
That poor
Anyway, when
guy.
Blake first made the proposal to Candace about having the ultimatum, having her come and talk about it, I had said, okay, you guys, let's see if we could make the Guinness Book of World Records, of the longest list of lies ever. So anyway, oh, okay, so this was a good one, I think. If we go back on the verified list of lies, no, I mean, in the grand scheme, is this the biggest thing in the world? Maybe not, but this was a big part of the narrative. For quite some time, the amazing, heroic, magnificent Mikey McCoy had blood all over him.
Mm.
Now, as she has in her list, offender, Rob McCoy. The interesting thing about that one that later came out was that apparently Rob McCoy said that for over a month, sorry if y'all hear my dog barking, for over a month, he thought and was traumatized because he said that he thought that Mikey had this blood all over him. And the weird thing about that is that they had traveled together overseas. And like, what do you mean? You guys never talked about it and never rectified that? Like, it's your son we're talking about. I mean, isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Sorry about my dog. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'll mute it if that's too loud. Oh, and then the discrepancy about the calls. Here, you take it from here, and then I'll mute my mic while my dog's barking. But the call list. So whether it was Mikey when he put his phone right up to his ear, who did he call first? Did he call his dad? Did he call Erika? Did he call his wife? Who did he call? Because everybody wanted to be the first call, I guess. And
Yeah.
then
So, well, and then there's also the timeline, right? So basically, within like 3 minutes, he called 3 different people. So they each got like a quick 30 seconds or a minute, right? And then his father was telling him, and I don't know if you guys all know about his dad, but he's a pastor for TPUSA Faith, and he's also says he's one of the founders. He added himself on Wikipedia after Charlie died, but basically, yeah. So basically, he was saying that his son called him first, said he was covered in blood, was talking about how heroic he was. But then we also heard that the first person that he supposedly called was Erika. And he told Erika, I think she had this in the interview yesterday, but I think she basically said that he basically said, Charlie got hit and stay safe, protect yourself, and bye. Now, could that have happened? Possibly. And I know that he was saying that Charlie said that that was his job. If something ever happened to him, call Erika, let her know immediately. She's the first person you should call. So there's conflicting, reports of who's right and who did what when. And that's part of the issue. That's why Candace is calling them out. We still have the pups.
Yep, he's good. He's good.
Okay.
And you got it. That was the perfect explanation.
Now, if the pup is there, I want to see the pup. Just so
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, I tried to tell him that I had treats, but I should have been like rustling around a bag or something, and then I would have really sold him on it. So
Hey, Arm Perea, thanks for the super chat. Happy holidays to a great host. Thank you. God bless. And never stop asking questions. Amen. All right. And the
Amen
other
to
super chats that are questions, we'll get to that after we get done with the main presentation.
Oh man, everyone is going to love this one. That Charlie's neck stopped the 30-06 bullet.
Let's do a poll. I'm curious. I know not everyone is like a ballistics expert, and I know not everyone hunts and that kind of stuff. But let's finish this other one. Let's see. Are Erika's intentions good? Let's see this poll. Final results. 91% say no, that her intentions are not good. All right, so now let's say, did Charlie's neck stop a 30-06? And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a very powerful, very fast rifle round. I'll let you vote on that in the meantime. Now, what's your opinion on that?
My opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no way that it was a 30-06, and I'm far from a ballistics expert or anything like that, you
You're in
know.
Texas.
I
There's guns,
am. I
there's
am.
guns out there.
Hey, yeah, of course. Of course. And I was at the farm this weekend. But yeah, not happening. In fact, and my parents, they even have a Yukon. I almost shot a video. You would have laughed so hard. I mean, I'm not 6'4", but I'm like 5'7". I say I'm 5'8", but I was like laid out. I tried laying out across the side of it just to envision what it, across that initial second row, to imagine what it would have been like to have all of these men piled in there. It just didn't happen. There's absolutely no way. So
The only thing I can compare that to would be, I have seen situations where there's like, I think they call it code blue, but it's where someone's heart stops in the hospital, at least out here. And what they do is like two people basically jump on top of the medical bed and they switch off doing CPR while a whole team of people move them through the hospital to get to the emergency room or whatever they need to do, or surgery or whatever.
okay.
And that's kind of what I was picturing was happening in that Yukon.
Okay, somebody had a really funny comment. They deserve like a round of applause. It's a 30-aught psyop. That's what it is. I might have to borrow that one. It's a 30-aught psyop.
Oh, I think I have your link. Let's see. You need to add it to your link here. All right.
But no, I don't believe that that's what it was. I don't. Well, we can come back to mine in a little bit.
Let's see. Tanya's 8596 says, BC, I assume you mean Baron Coleman, is click farming, who goes on live 4 hours and loses ideas he does. So yeah, so we don't, on this channel, we don't bash other people. I think Baron is great. I did some videos that kind of challenge the electrocution story that they're going with right now. I don't personally think the hands were burnt, but I think he said tonight, if you haven't seen it, go watch it for sure. It was pretty interesting. They compare previous setups to the way it was set up at UVU that particular day, meaning like everything from like rubber floor mats to the tent being raised to the type of chair he was on. They covered all that stuff. And then he also says he has some images from the photographer that no one else has that show something that he's not ready to talk about yet, but may feed that narrative that he got possibly electrocuted or had something else happen besides the gunshot. So, yeah, I like Baron. Everyone has different styles. I have people that come here and they say, I'm too calm. They say like, you're very calm and soothing in your voice. Your voice puts me to sleep because it's so smooth and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. That's my voice. That's how I talk. And he's very excited and has lots of energy. So I think Baron is awesome.
I think you're wonderful, Matt. I think you are the voice of reason. And so I really appreciate the approach that you take.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Please contact Patriotic Housewife. I have talked to her. I know the whole story. So on X, that's kind of where I'll just say X is where the drama happens. Let's just say that. So there's behind the scenes stuff, but you know, there were apologies and everything, and I think that situation is good. I think they made up and they're good. All right, let's get back to why we're here. Did you have more that you want to share, or do you want to go back to the list?
I mean, I can keep going. Yeah. Let's see here.
So we ended on call log.
Or well, on this one, okay, I think we just talked about 30-06, right?
Yes.
Um,
Let's look at that. What's that poll saying here?
oh yeah.
Poll final results. Did Charlie's next stop a 30-06? Basically, no. There's 2% that said yes, and they probably accidentally clicked it. I'm just kidding, but yeah. So no, I mean, no one's buying it. But now let me play devil's advocate here, because that's kind of what I do, right? I try and be balanced.
Sure.
I have friends that hunt. I know tons of hunters. I do, military style training with Navy SEALs, Marines, Special Forces guys. My father-in-law is a Special Forces guy, and all of them across the board said that they have seen situations where high power rifles, 7.62s, 30-06s, and even a 300 Win Mag, which is the same thing that hit the Butler, Pennsylvania shooter.
Interesting.
It went through him, of course, because it's extremely powerful. It's more powerful than a 30-06, but it did not blow up his head. Like, it didn't explode, and it wasn't all dramatic, right? But in all those people's experience I was talking about, and the hunters, all of them have seen a high power rifle bullet stuck inside of either a human being and or an animal. And in a lot of cases, it was the spine. It was in the throat area or in the chest and stopped in the spine. And sometimes it would go through the spine, but not have enough power to get through the skin behind it. So that can happen and does happen. So I can't say it's impossible that a 30-06 stopped in his neck, because I have too many people around me that say that it can, and they're professionals. And I think that's why Paramount Tactical gets so much shit, because people say that he's a paid off shill and he's, working for Israel and all this kind of stuff. But he's probably one of the highest level trained professional long distance instructors in the military. And he's Green Beret level. So he teaches other people how to teach that stuff, and he knows it inside and out.
Yeah.
He also agrees that in the right situation with the right ammo and that kind of stuff, it could happen as well. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm just saying that it is technically possible. Probably a very low percentage, but it has happened for sure.
His approach, though, to people lately has gone, yeah.
He's fed up, right? Like, people are burnt out.
Yeah.
People are burnt out on the whole Charlie Kirk thing. There's people like your team that do the investigative stuff, and they're still digging into everything. But most people are pretty done. Like Valhalla said he was done. Paramount said he was done.
Right.
They said unless something captivating comes out, they're going to stop doing that coverage.
I see someone in the chat had mentioned that because I said that I wasn't a ballistics expert, that I shouldn't opine, that I felt that there was no way that it was a 30-06. Look, I have done an intensive amount of research literally every single night and day over the last 3 months. And so, do I have the bullet in my hand? No, I don't. And can I account for every single scenario in the history of the world? No, I cannot. But I just don't believe, based on all of the evidence that I have reviewed, that it could. Is that better?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Thank you.
So we have this question from Matt. I like your name. So why did all those test videos show the opposite? So there's a few things. I won't spend a lot of time on it because this is primarily focused on the allegations from Candace for Erika. But long story short, all the videos online, 99% of them are using like Full Metal Jacket penetrating rounds that are very hot, right? They're very, the feet per second is like at the upper end of 30-06. And typically they just buy whatever's on the shelf. This is like the cheaper stuff, which tends to have the Full Metal Jacket. Mm-hmm. And that basically goes through anything. Like, you can shoot through some steel plates with it, right? So that is why when you see the pork, what do they call them? The pork shoulders and that kind of stuff that they're shooting through, especially ballistic gel, which is not really a good medium. Because when you shoot through the gel, there's no connective tissue, there's no ligaments. There is no muscle, there's no variation in texture and all the stuff that you would get if you hit human flesh. So while you can see the expansion and the cavitation and stuff in the gel, and if they have the bones and stuff in there, typically it's plastic. So
Mhm.
obviously that's not as strong as bone. It's not a good one-to-one. So yeah, that's I guess that's what I'll say about that. Let's see. I think Erica benefited the most. I think many would agree. Many would
And
agree.
continues to benefit as some estimated $150 million in donations rolled
Yes.
in. She's on a, book tour. I mean, I listed out today on X, if anyone's curious, all of the events that have taken place coincidentally or I don't know, choreographed, right? Scheduled that have taken place since. And it's just mighty interesting to think, man, how many things that I mean, a lot of us didn't even know about what this organization was
Yeah.
3 months ago.
I didn't know that they were not a religious organization. TPUSA itself, they are a
Right.
political organization. So I was kind of blown away by that. I did a video on my channel. If you're bored, go check that out a little bit later or tomorrow or something. But it was basically like church versus state. Should they be mixing? And then I talk about kind of what TPUSA represents, and then TPUSA faith and what that represents. It's very interesting.
And the fact that they now are rolling into that all of the states are just opening up their doors and saying, come on in, get into our high schools, infiltrate our high schools.
And
It's
that's
interesting.
Texas and Tennessee so far, right?
Texas, Tennessee, and then there are 2 other states. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know of 4 states so far.
Terrible. All right, so let's keep going. So
Okay.
allegations involving foreign governments. Now I won't get too into this because of this one, YouTube is not happy. So
Yep.
I will just say that Candace Owens is suggesting that other nation states may be involved, and
Okay.
obviously she's
How
also
about
talking.
here's one way we may be able to talk about it. That Charlie never wavered on his support.
Yes, and as many of you know, he specifically said that he wanted to pull away from that cause, and he was not happy with his donors from that place.
He'd said that publicly in multiple podcasts, including his own, but yeah, in multiple podcasts and appearances. He'd even said it with Megyn Kelly.
Let's see, does TPUSA? Let me look. I'm actually interested now that you've asked that question. Did you want to pull the next thing out of your list on that side while I look this up?
Sure, absolutely. That he was, let's see. I don't know why she has this, but maybe you have a thought on it. I'm not sure. That Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk never had any bad blood between them.
Mm.
Or that Charlie was a committed evangelical who only liked Catholic architecture. I don't know. Some of that stuff starts to get a little petty for
Yeah.
me. Okay, this is a good one. Terrell Farnsworth was told to remove the SD cards by police. So,
That is false.
yeah.
Very false.
And she lists the offender as Tyler Boyer. And my recollection is that Tyler specifically tweeted that. And we don't have any evidence of that whatsoever. I mean, visually, based on the camera footage that we see.
So, based on the research of this for the schools in Los Angeles, TPUSA stuff, I don't see anything confirmed. So, I see there are some places in California do have chapters, but I don't see one specifically in Los Angeles. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just means they can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey McCoy was on the phone making funeral arrangements. Stop spreading misinformation. Oh, the chat's going crazy. Chat's going crazy. We love it.
He was
right.
busy.
All right. So next thing.
He was working on that autopsy already. Right?
Autopsy was done before he was gone.
Yeah. Already signed, sealed, delivered, and notarized.
Let's see. I don't give a damn says he said go Max.
Yes, we go Max around here.
All right. So
Uh,
next we have the French military involvement.
oh,
Axios reports Owens also suggested the French military was part of the plot to assassinate Kirk. Now, we won't spend a ton of time on this, but you know about the Macron situation, how
mhm.
Candace was saying that his wife was not a wife, that she had male parts, and that
Yeah.
there was some corruption and stuff there, and maybe some inappropriate stuff going on behind the scenes. And then they wanted to sue her. And as far as I know, she lost, and then something happened and dropped. Do you know about that? Do you know the specifics about it?
I know a little bit about it, but I will tell you when it came to all of the French military stuff, the Macron stuff, and even some of the Egyptian plane stuff, uh, sorry, my eyes started to glaze over a little bit because I was very much focused on what was going on the ground. At some point, I could only focus on so many things. And I mean, I think that's, reasonable. But what about you?
Um, there's other people that have corroborated her story.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I haven't seen proof. I haven't seen any actual proof that any of that is true. So the age difference is interesting there, and I know Macron is a very polarizing figure. So there could be something to it, but right now it's just allegations unless she has pictures or video or something else that other
Yep.
people don't, which could be possible. She has a research team,
Could
but
be.
she thinks, and she has reported that because of that, possibly she was a target, and that she was supposed to be the original target and not Charlie. So that's kind of the French military involvement. And she has also indicated the French military in maybe in the planes and some of the stuff that's going on with that. All right, what's the next one you have?
I was reading the comment on the screen.
Oh yeah. You want to do your
Oh,
face? You want to do it
okay.
once for the chat since they
Okay,
haven't
once
seen it?
once for the chat because I
One
know
time,
someone's gonna request it.
just once.
Okay. Are you gonna prompt me?
Yeah, I do a little prompt.
Okay.
So a lot of people are saying that these conspiracy theorists are causing issues and stressing you out and that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
They just need to stop. Stop.
I think one of the funniest things about it is how close they get on her face. Like they're like zoomed in like this.
I mean, I don't wanna scare anybody at home, because it's a little late and they've got a big week ahead, so it's too close to the holidays for anybody to be too scared. Oh my goodness! This is not good because you're not evil. Thank you, I appreciate that, but
That
yeah,
we know of. All right. There's one more in this section. I'll cover this real quick and then you can pull up your next one.
okay.
So for anyone that's joining new, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. Also go over and check out Kelly Raybon. She's on YouTube and X. Make sure you like and subscribe over there. And what we're doing is we're basically going over the allegations from Candace to Erika, and kind of we were talking about what are the intentions behind this meeting. Erika's kind of doing a power move. She's the one that initiated this, and Candace basically accepted it, right? She accepted the challenge,
Yep.
and that is right here. She said, Candace Owens and I are going to meet for a private in-person discussion on Monday, which is tomorrow. And they've agreed that all public discussions, live streams, tweets, everything is on hold until they're done with this meeting. And she looks forward to a productive conversation. Candace says, I'm very much looking forward to this discussion. So this could be fireworks. This could be hugging. They might make up and become besties. We have no idea what's going to happen here. So I think good could come out of it, but I don't know if the questions are going to get answered. And that's more what I'm concerned about.
I hope so. And I wonder, does anyone have we haven't asked the chat. I can't remember the way that you had phrased the initial question earlier, but does anyone could we ask the question in a way if anyone thinks that this is just for show?
Mm. Just for optics, huh?
Yeah, just
Let's
for
I'll do
optics.
I'll do a poll for that if you want to start the next one.
Okay. Yep. So I'll go to the list that I have over here because we've still got some juicy ones. So Charlie establishing the Doge was not unusual. Turning Point has financially audited the company every year since its inception. What do we think about that one? I'll tell you my personal opinion on that would be I actually thought that it would be weird to announce a big audit before you do the audit.
Especially if it's for criminal activity.
Yeah. I mean, typically you want to, typically you wouldn't really make a big announcement about an audit. You would just kind of do it. But
So now we
or
have to
you would
remember
wanna
though
leave
that
a paper trail. That was my other thing, is
yeah.
that because if y'all haven't heard some of my theories and speculations before, I have a lot of questions about this whole thing in regards to if Charlie is perhaps still alive
Mm.
or if he, is gone, if he was in on it. And so were these either way, little Easter eggs that he was dropping to kind of set up the idea that he was out and things that people could point to and say, oh, well, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Anyway.
Yeah, so kind of going along with the whole idea of like why would he announce a Doge audit if he's trying to catch, basically trying to catch internal criminals in the company. But also on top of that, say if Tyler Boyer, who was moved from TPUSA to TPUSA Action, so he was the financial officer for them or handled the finances for them and got moved. And at the same time, the Doge audit starts. So it makes you
Mhm.
wonder, did Tyler do something and get caught? And Charlie was kind of moving him to a little bit safer spot, but still keeping him close, right? Keep your enemies close and then doing this Doge audit. But still, why would he move him and alert him to all of this stuff if he was trying to catch him doing something? That's a really good question.
Well, maybe he was making his money either way.
Mm. Yeah, let's see. SD card, 100%. So there was something interesting that Baron said tonight that made me think about something. So I've done a lot of photography and videography and still do. And I film like documentaries and stuff. And he mentioned something about if the what's the guy's name? Terrell?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Terrell.
So
I say Terrell. I don't
Terrell,
know.
that's it. So if Terrell takes the SD card out and the FBI has it, but he was also able to give it to Candace, then they were kind of saying that you would think that he had enough time to make a copy of it, right? But in my camera, even the one I'm filming with right now, there's two SD card slots and it records to both at the same time in case one fails. So that
Right.
could be a possibility. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it could be a possibility.
Sure.
All right, let's see here. She says multiple outlets describe her overall package of theories as conspiratorial, unfounded, including government foreign angles intertwined with their claims about TPUSA. So that kind of goes back to the French and the other nation states. All right, let's go ahead and cover your next one here. Let me check on this poll.
Okay. This is a good one. Charlie Kirk's team did not fly drones at UVU.
Oh, that's one of the biggest lies right there.
They're gonna have a tough time with that one. I mean, because we know for sure that they did. Old Frank the Tank Turek.
He's helping them out.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah,
just
so he said they had drones up and they got footage before, during, and after. I don't know what kind of drones, but they had drones. And
Yeah.
then Brian Harpole, who was head of security, was saying that they weren't allowed to fly drones, some BS about the airspace or something else. And then he said that the police in UVU said that they weren't going to put any up and they wouldn't let him. And then I did a video with the documentation from them that directly says you can get permission, you fill out a form, and within a reasonable amount of time, probably within a couple of days, for them maybe 24 hours, which they had 2 weeks, right? They were planning for
Sure.
2 weeks here. They easily could have gotten this paperwork filled out and gotten permission to fly up there.
Yep. And I mean, did they ever even ask the question? Like, did they ever even make the effort? But it's one thing between wanting to do something, and there's another between not wanting to do something and then just being able to plead ignorance. So,
This is interesting. John Doe says enemy pro wrestlers meeting backstage to high five. Are you talking about Candace and Erika? That would be interesting if they were working together and just getting rich off of this. I won't even say what I'm thinking. Let's keep going. All right, do you want to do the next one?
sure. All right, let's see. How about okay, on the Brian Harpole topic, security communicated with the UVU police to secure the rooftops. We know that was a certainly a debated moment that it seemed like Harpole did try to pass off as though he did everything that he could have when he went on the Sean Ryan show, showing his alleged text messages, which may have actually not been his. That
I
he,
think it was basically confirmed that they were uh, floods,
yeah,
Dan floods. So, but he did present them as though they were his.
yeah. And so, I mean, that was the most pathetic attempt at saying what I call that was a certified cop out. Like
Well,
that
and
was
blaming Chief Long.
blaming the the university police chief for you not doing your own job or not asking a follow-up question, not being diligent enough to whether it be in the days leading up to the event, the morning of,
Hmm.
doing anything to follow through. That was his fault.
Now, if any of you have connections to Chief Long, if he would do an interview or something like that, I'd be very interested to hear his side of the story.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, or if you want to, if you don't feel comfortable doing the interview and you just want to help facilitate that for us, we are all ears. We would love to be able to do that.
Yep. And we can obviously, just like with this, we can do it remotely. All right. So this next one is finances. Now, I know Wolves in Finance had another video come out, and now it's become personal between him and Tim Pool. And I don't know how you feel about Tim Pool or not, but he's gotten a little aggressive and almost kind of violent lately. And he's dropping F-bombs and calling Candace Owens the C word, the C
Keywords
bomb.
and
Yeah. So I think he might have snapped. He might be in some kind of situation. It sounds like he might have a financial or other type of situation going on with his businesses. But his views are down for sure. And I think a lot of it is because he pissed off Candace Owens fans, and a lot of them unsubscribed from his channel. I think in one day he lost like 3,000 subscribers. But the point is the finances, and Wolves in Finance. So he put a video out from the original Wolves in Finance video where he said that there was some fraud or possibly some stuff going on behind the scenes that was sketchy at TPUSA on their 990 forms. And then he had another one come out where he said that money was going to a parking lot, and that's kind of been debunked. But Tim came out and just kind of ripped him, right? He ripped his ass about it. And then Tim was pissed off. And then Wolves in Finance did a video, I believe it was yesterday, was it?
yes.
Or maybe 2 days ago. And he
Over
responded.
the weekend for sure.
Yeah, he tears into Tim Pool, attacks his character, kind of presents some new information that might possibly even be worse fraud, and says he also has more that might be even worse fraud. So if that's the case, if that's true, then the fact that the IRS just came out and said they're not looking into this, they said that TPUSA, the US government said TPUSA is not being looked into for fraud by the IRS currently. So were they kind of pardoned? Like we know Trump pardoned Tyler Boyer for election fraud, if you didn't know that. So it seems like TPUSA gets a lot of free passes when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I would love to. This is so hard. Actually, could we do this? It's hard to do this as a poll, so we would have to just ask people if they can to just kind of try to weigh in with a 1 or 2 word answer, Matt. So, or maybe you have a better idea of how to phrase this.
Let's end this first poll here.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
So
I'm
is
jumping the
Erika
gun.
meeting with Candace just for optics and PR? 72% yes, but just trying to repair their reputation. So I would agree. All right. So what's your idea here?
So I'm wondering, what are people really wanting to hear the most about right now? Are they most curious about, like, just what aspect of it? And maybe kind of leave that open-ended versus giving them specific
Yeah. So let's just
parameters.
let's just put it in the chat. And you're talking about specific to what we're talking about right now, right?
Specific to, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone in chat on all the different platforms, go ahead and just type in anything that you will specifically want to hear about, any topics, and it could be specific to Candace and Erika, or it
Just
could
try
just
to keep
be
it like as brief, as
yeah.
possible, so we can kind of, so that way it's easier to see.
Let's hear this nonsense. Egyptian planes, exploding mic. Let's hear this nonsense. Now, Egyptian planes, I don't know if that's a thing. Like I know that they were there. I know they existed. I know that they happen to be in those areas, but her parents are different or were defense contractors. We know that she has worked with and for supposedly the US government. So these planes being around, I don't know if they're nefarious or if they are part of, like, maybe her parents have like a protection over her and these planes follow her around. I have no idea, right? But they're there. But nothing has happened. There's been no connections to anything nefarious at this point. And then exploding mic. Now that came from the fact that certain nation states would rig electronics, pagers, phones, everything. Basically, they would put explosives in it, and they did kill a whole bunch of people in the Middle East. So that's why the exploding mic idea came out, because it's been done. It's been done by multiple different nation states.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what came in here. TPUSA has been hijacked. Yeah, so many do feel that way.
Yes, and I think there is an internal struggle when you have this struggle between religion and politics. That's just kind of been a struggle that the nation has gone through for a long time, and so that's an innate problem with the way that TPUSA is set up.
This is interesting from Luke Sly Talker. Clever.
Mhm.
Erika sending a secret message for help to Candace with this private meeting. That's a very interesting angle. So what if
That
Erika has been compromised and she's in danger and she's kind of being held captive by this system? Maybe the same people that took out Charlie. Is she reaching out for help or trying to get information out through Candace? That would be very interesting.
That would be interesting. Or could it be that she needs help because she's gotten in so far over her head? She realized after the terribly poor response that she received from the public, after the last week of her parading around on, nearly every TV show she could, and it wasn't received well.
While we're waiting, do you want to cover the next thing on your
And that
list?
she didn't stop.
Yeah.
I got you that time. Okay. Yes. So let's see.
Now, someone asked about the pregnancies. Is there any proof? I did a video on it, and I found some images and video on her. I think it was her Instagram, and it did show, the little prego belly. It showed an ultrasound. It actually had her maiden name on it. It had Francie on it. It said Erika Francie, and it showed the little baby in there and stuff. So there are some things that are theoretical proof of her being pregnant. Whether they're his kids or not, I don't know. And I know some people like maybe they're Romanian orphans. I don't know because you never see their faces and they keep them very secretive.
And does that mean that, sorry to say it, but that she actually, I mean, it was, to me, her belly wasn't that big. Like it didn't look like she was that far along. Just as someone who has had 2 kids, not trying to like mom judge too much. I'm just approaching it as, an objective investigator. Oh yeah, I've got I've
Yes.
got that tea too.
So a little
But I was just gonna say though, also, we should keep in mind as well that that doesn't mean that she actually had those. If she did have a pregnancy, it doesn't mean that uh that the baby was born. You know,
true.
so
So it's a possibility. I hope not, but
I'm just saying, we have to think about all of these things because just yeah.
Tucker did confirm with his contacts on the planes. Yes. Yeah, I'm not saying that the planes weren't confirmed. I'm just saying that there's nothing nefarious that's been proven yet. Let's see. So this one, Sword Truth, breaking. At least one of Erika Kirk's former fiancés is confirmed. A lot of people were trying to find out if she had been previously married. And then there was the, what was it? They were like in the gym and there was a guy next to her and some little kid. And then Tyler Boyer was in front of her and her mother was to her right. And everyone's like, who's that guy? Well, it looks like apparently she had a short relationship 2014, 2015 with this guy, JT Massey. And, like a little supermodel American Eagle guy. But it looks like they were
Baseball player.
the baseball player separately as well. Yeah. This guy wasn't the baseball player, I don't think. Or was there a football player too?
Do you think he was a
I
baseball
think there's
player?
a couple of them. But yeah, so she's had a couple people and they did their little, it looks like maybe engagement photos or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she's definitely been previously in a relationship, and I think the other one is in this. Was it in the same thread? I think there's another one in here. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know, but there's another one with someone who's in sports, and I believe it was football. But she definitely had other relationships, but who cares? Because we all have, right? Um, that's not really an indicator of anything. But now if she had a relationship or was married and then married Charlie and was kind of doing like the honeypot thing, some people are saying, then obviously that would be a major issue.
Yeah, it's so funny. I have too many random connections to too many people. I have 2 mutual friends with her ex-boyfriend.
Interesting. So you're going to get an exclusive interview on the
I mean,
inner
I
workings?
could try. He's from Chattanooga. He was born in Memphis, I guess. Let's see. Oh, he may live in Chattanooga now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to everyone that's in chat, I'm using Nightbot, which is, obviously it's an automated bot. It's a AI, and I'm testing it out and tweaking it. So if it's being too harsh, let me know, and I can adjust it for the next streams. But I kind of have it like moderate at this point. So like all caps, cussing, foul language, not foul language, but like racist language and stuff like that. Any of that stuff, it'll flag you and time you out for like 10 minutes. So I apologize if it's being too aggressive. Erica's dad had died. I didn't hear that.
I hadn't heard that either.
Hmm.
This
But
is a fun.
you do only ever see her mom though.
Though, that nobody else has posted though. If you want to try to look up something on that.
Yeah, because you only see her mom ever. So that might be true. Oh, that's a good one.
Have you ever seen, there is a really weird video though. Have you seen the really weird video with her dad?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
With that one like little flash of Erika that like pops up in the middle of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what are your top 3 questions that Candace will ask Erika? What do you think?
Oh, for me? Okay, that's tough because what will she ask her that she will actually get answers to? Legitimate answers to? I mean, I don't think she's gonna really get legitimate answers to anything. I have no reason because I don't know what they've talked about. I have no faith that she's gonna get legit answers.
I think
I
one
think
of the
that
main
it's going
questions
to
will
be
be
productive.
why have you guys been silent? Like, why is there no response? If you're not guilty, then why wouldn't you be saying something?
Then why is she gonna say something now? Why
I
was
think
she
she's gonna say something with some legal papers. That's what I think.
That's, like, such a cop out.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you have this one here. I thought Valhalla was a biblical after place. Is it an actual real place? There's some speculation that there's a Valhalla like meetup place that's an actual physical place in this world, and that's where some people go. And this was like an Operation Valhalla through the FBI or something similar. It's not really been proven, but there's a lot of stuff out there if you search for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that she may very well ask that. I didn't mean to dismiss you like that. It's just that I it's a very tough situation because how can you even trust this girl will lie through her teeth left and right. So why trust what she has to say now?
Yeah. Let's see. Southern Sage. I did a live last night exploring what tech could have been used to manufacture September 10th. I have no
Mm,
doubt in my mind that he was electrocuted, but I've seen people survive it plenty of times. Yeah, I was originally going to do a video on the electrocution piece, basically proving how it could work based on
mhm.
all the technology and stuff that's there and all the situation that's happening. I'll probably do that for tomorrow, so look out for that. But yes, it's definitely possible. The main issue is that it would not be high voltage unless it was rigged that way with some kind of converter or something to make it boost up. I had a lot of engineers message me and tell me how it could happen to actually make it high voltage, but it's very unlikely. Most likely it'd be 120 volts, and that typically will stop your heart. It's not going to cause explosion out of his neck and damage to his vertebrae from contractions and that kind of stuff. So it still seems like I said, unless he like shows pictures like these pictures he's talking about, then I'm gonna stick with my very unlikely unless I see actual burnt crispy hands and that kind of stuff, then I'm gonna have to go against that one. Did you have another one?
No, no, I think I'm about out. The other ones that she has are on the feds, and so I don't think that that's necessarily. I guess TPUSA gets kind of a pass on that. Um, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to look at that video that I sent, we can in the chat. I didn't know how to put it into the
Into the stream.
into the stream. It's I sent you two versions. So one she has it posted, it's from TikTok, excuse me, Twitter, and it one version is the supposed original and then one is the supposed edited.
And what's the actual video about?
It's Frank Turk, and it's him recounting how Charlie said that he was
Ah, okay.
threatened or
So
whatever.
so this is the conspiracy that the video was edited.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So give me 1 second. We'll jump on that. So
Okay.
Divine Foundation says burns on CK's hands, arms, armpits, and chest in those pics.
Have you
Have you
seen them?
have you
Have you
seen
seen
them?
them,
Are they
Divine?
yeah,
Like,
are they
please?
available somewhere, or are you just saying what you think he said? Because he said he wasn't going to talk about it yet, and that he was asked not to talk about it or show them.
Yeah, let us know because I'd love to be able to see more. That will be super important.
And Zizzy, Erica would have mentioned the purpose of the planes if they were legitimate. She didn't even answer the question. She said that she was not flying on Egyptian planes.
Because she was
That is not what
pregnant.
Candace said. So
Because she was pregnant.
yeah, so she completely dodged that one. Why is Erica so aggressive with Candace? Any ideas on that one? Might just be because they're both women and they were both women in Charlie's life.
I mean, I feel like Erica gets aggressive about things that she doesn't like or that she doesn't wanna talk about.
Mm.
It's just the vibe. I mean, it's more than a vibe. It's what we've seen. We've seen her turn on a dime a few times.
All right, so we're going to do a couple of super chats and then we will show your video, your edited Frank Turek video. This is for research. Thanks for the super chat. Candace said on Jimmy Dore's show yesterday that Andrew called her the night before he died and told Candace he was worried about being killed. Yes, so that has been basically, I want to say proven, right? Because we haven't seen the text officially from the source and that kind of thing, but it sounds like that's true. And there's a couple people that corroborated it, including Frank Turek. But in all fairness, Frank didn't say the night before, but he said that Charlie had told him that he was worried about them killing him.
Yeah. Them.
Aper roll tide. Sorry, I stuck with these names. Candace never said to kill Charlie Kirk, but she asked from TPUSA to answer questions. Why are they lying? Yes. So that was twisted. They basically, because even not Erika, what's his name? But the bald head, the guy that was talking out for everyone. He was like Blake. There we go.
See, he's so forgettable. But
he is.
That's why they use him, because he's like the forgettable one.
Yeah, he's like the neutral, mediocre guy.
Yes.
Nothing stands out special about him. But he was the one that was saying basically that she was implying that they killed him. And she didn't actually say kill. She said that they were doing sketchy stuff that made her question them. All right, let's see. Next one. And thanks for the super chats. Another one. It's strange to me that Erika Kirk sent out the tweet. Yes, I agree. Even when Erika's interview was over the weekend, she's been caught in a couple of lies. Yeah, I think that obviously they would have had to have talked in the background for her to be able to send out a tweet confirming this meeting. So I would assume she reached out to her first and said, hey, we should have this meeting. It's going to be private. And then after it was confirmed, then she posted, and then Candace responded and said, yeah, let's do this. Right.
Yeah.
But again, are they behind the stage high-fiving, making a bunch of money off of this? Are they working together and we don't know it? I guess it could be possible. All right, let's see. Arwen Perea, thanks for the super chat. Happy holidays. We read that one earlier, but we still thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Happy holidays.
Oh, yeah, this is sad. Rest in peace to Rob Weiner and his wife. Stop the insanity. Now, I didn't hear Proud Liberal. Was it like a homicide?
That's what they were saying.
Okay.
I didn't read too much more into it just because we were coming into the live, but yeah, it was terrible.
All right, let's see. Shannon Tylene, thanks for the super chat. Neff was also a wargaming expert with Cores.
Can you explain what wargaming expert means?
Yeah, with the Marine Corps? Are you talking about Blake Neff? Or are you talking about his supposed military connections?
No, Blake himself. Yeah, that's when they let him go. He had a contract or something with them, or he was working as a contractor. And when he made, I guess, some racist or off-colored comments.
Yeah.
He was released of his contract. But at that time, he was working as a wargaming expert.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if maybe that plays into the idea of how he's so skilled at setting these ultimatums and trying to really set the narrative and position things.
Yeah. It's the people you wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect that from him, but maybe that's why he's perfect for it.
Maybe.
Let's see. Allie Top Files, thanks for the super chat. How's it going, Allie? You should jump in and join us. Do you think Candace should see Erika private or public? What do you think?
At this point, I'm getting so skeptical about so many of the things. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask, because I feel like if we see them publicly, they're going to already have discussed privately whatever they're going to talk about So the private conversation would have happened anyway. I just want them to have the conversation and be done with it, and like, let's get the show on the road
I think
instead of
that
just
if they
dragging
did
us
it
along.
publicly
Yeah.
in a live stream, there are things that they would want to say and some anger and stuff that may come out that might paint them in a bad light. So I think they have to do the private one first. They need to get the tension and stuff between them figured out.
Yeah.
That would be what I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, because Erika can't do live. I mean, she couldn't do a live town hall. They had to record it several days in advance.
She was her podcast ever live? I know she had a podcast, right?
Oh, I doubt that.
Let me see. I
Highly
know she had a
doubt that.
faith-based podcast. Let me look this up here.
I highly doubt that that was ever live. But I mean, that wouldn't have been something that was controversial, you know.
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
I just think that
Hmm.
she at this point has a real tough time. I mean, I'm not so sure that even I guess the closest thing would have been her conversation with Megyn Kelly on Megan's if that was Megan's book tour or not book or book tour or whatever Megan's tour is, or if it was a TPUSA event, but that one that occurred maybe 2-3 weeks ago now at this point. Um, that was I think that was live, but it also may have been edited. There's no telling because actually there was some really funny things that they did after the fact. They moved flowers around behind them after the fact in their official videos.
I know there was a something on social media. I can't remember if it was Instagram or TikTok, but it was Charlie and Erica, and it was when she was kind of first starting to get into this stuff with him. He was doing a live show with her where they were going back and forth asking couple questions,
Hmm.
which I think was like for her faith podcast thing.
Yes.
And she was like really nervous, and they were getting ready to go live, and they were like kind of like filming like a behind the scenes. So I think she's done something, but I don't know if she did like a regular show like he did.
Right.
If there is, like, I can't find it yet. And if someone knows, definitely send that our way. I'd be interested to see how because she acts very different. Like the way she acts now, she's like a shell of her former self. It's like she's possessed or something compared to how she used to be in some of their social media.
And I have a video of her like reporting reel. I think she was trying to do hosting, um, maybe some reporting, things like that, like interviewing celebrities, stuff like that from way back. And she was quite a natural at it. I would say she was good. She would actually fit the Fox vibe, but you know, oof, she went off the rails.
And it could be the stress, right? CEO of a company lost her husband. We don't know if it was on purpose or not.
You're so
Right.
generous. You're so
I'm
generous.
very generous.
Hmm.
All right, let's see.
Gotta have a good cop, bad cop around here.
Peggy's Place, thanks for the super chat. What if they both come out calling a truce and ask everyone to stop talking and let Charlie rest? Will you all stop talking too? Oh, if they call a truce. Okay, I got you. So if they come out of this meeting tomorrow and they say we're good, we come to an understanding. Candace says they've answered all my questions. Erika says Candace is going to stop this craziness, and they shake hands and they're buddies, or at least cordial and civil. Will all of us also stop talking about this? What do you think?
There is a 0% chance that I will be stopping talking. Big fat 0.
Fat 0, like a bagel.
Yep.
Like a
How about
bagel
you?
fat.
How about you?
I think people need to be careful, especially with the kind of stuff that we do. I think the investigation is important and it will continue regardless. But as far as like, the people who are actually on the faces on YouTube doing these shows and that kind of stuff, there's a lot of other stuff to cover. And a lot of stuff has kind of been slipped by the wayside because there's so much coverage on Charlie Kirk. So I think it's important. It's going to continue regardless. And I'll still be looking into this stuff for sure. But there's also other stuff that needs to be covered. And hopefully, the audience I hope you guys are open to looking at other stuff too. I know when people started posting about Epstein, their views went down significantly. They post about Charlie and the views fly up. So, the channels like mine and other channels, we need the support kind of across the board. If we're covering different stuff, we kind of need the support all the time, not just when there's a super hot topic. But we definitely appreciate you. And on that note, hit that like, make sure you guys subscribe, and make sure you check out Kelly Raybon on YouTube and on X. Show her some love. All right, our last super chat here. We lacked intensity. Enjoying the program. Shout out to my wife, Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa.
Shout out, Alyssa.
I'm not sure if you're listening, Alyssa, but he's spending your joint account money to give you a shout out. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. A lot of questions. All right, let's see. Is she going to the TPUSA studio?
We don't know.
I'm gonna check again right now and see if there's any updates on that.
Okay. Yeah. At this point, they hadn't said anything, but Matt's gonna take a good look and see what they have to say.
I would imagine yes, because Candace was already going to go to Arizona anyway, even before this thing was set up. But let's verify. There's nothing new. There's no new information. So
I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to say where they would go publicly. If I were her, I would want to go to somewhere. I don't know. I don't know that I would want to go into the lion's den like that.
Well, TPUSA is like a fortress. So I'd be worried if she got in, she wouldn't be able to get back out.
Exactly. Yeah. Who knows? They could have tunnels and whatever else underneath that place.
I am seeing something here. Looks like we have some people causing problems in chat. We have to get rid of some people.
Oh, someone commented on my power lines. So if I shift I'll have to show it to them later. But it's actually, if I can detour for just a second, it's going to show you just my kids for just this. But this is my kids actually, and it's a depiction of them. They were involved in the July 4th floods this summer, and they were at summer camp. Are you able to see it?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Okay, and so they were involved in the July 4th floods, and there were some artists, incredible artists who and their handle is tape art. And they actually made the real piece with like masking tape. It's like a 12-foot installation. Anyway, yeah, my littlest one, he's 7, and he like barely survived. And he was in his cabin. His cabin was falling apart. He and like probably 60 other little boys. It was really, really bad. And literally the walls were falling down, the doors were coming off, the windows were coming apart, and they were running out of space. The water was so high. And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. So they couldn't see anything. For him, it was his like second night there. He didn't even know anybody. I mean, it was crazy. So anyway, long story long, it was a special piece to me. So thank you for noticing.
Southern Sage. Let's see. God, Charlie, Erika, and TPUSA faith. Not a one of them have ever taught biblical doctrine with repentance. Never. They've never said a word about asking forgiveness. Should tell you something. There's a lot of people, and I'll say this like, this is just a side thought, my opinion. There's no necessarily fact in it. But based on the research that I did about TPUSA, it's to me, it seems like a political movement acting as it's basically a political movement and like a power takeover disguised as churches. That's kind of what it seems like to me. And a lot of people are coming out. Like there was that whistleblower that came out for TPUSA Faith. She went to an event and she said that, and I think Coach Colin covers this a lot too. It's just political, and then they attack political opponents or anyone that doesn't agree with them during these sermons instead of actually preaching from the Bible and preaching about faith and that kind of stuff. That's what people are saying. Oh, you can take this one.
Uh-oh.
Casket hands were not real, right?
I mean, I don't think so.
Should
But
we show him?
I also don't think that he was actually in the casket. So, if you believe there is the new theory that's going around now about the electrocution, and so that could be that those hands were replaced with artificial hands. That could explain that, or that there was heavy makeup placed over them. There's all kinds of different possibilities, but yeah.
Now, hopefully, I can show this YouTube for educational purposes. All right. So back over to Ali Top Files. She is awesome. She does a lot of the research, and she's behind a lot of different people, including Candace and Barron, and myself, and she shares a lot of information. So she's brought up this, and she has images, but you look at this, you see that supposedly this is Charlie's hand. Now he was like 6'4", 6'5".
Wow.
So he's a big guy, and then this is her hand, which to me looks like an old lady who's been doing dishes a lot. But I don't know, it just looks kind of weird. But her hand is tiny, right? That's kind of the point. And then you see them side by side.
Huh.
She shows this is in real life how big his hands are and how small hers were. And then you look over here, and she's saying that they kind of look like they're similar in size.
Yeah. Huh.
And it's interesting because the color. Now, a lot of people question the color, including myself. I was like, what the hell does he look like a Simpson for, right? He looks like Homer Simpson color. But
Right.
apparently that's normal. So I have a friend who's a mortician, and he's been doing it since we were kids. He was doing it in high school. It was
Yeah.
really freaking weird. I had a buddy that was like, he's like, I can't go hang out with you guys. I have to go dress this body because his parents own the morgue. But he said it's very normal to have jaundice and that kind of stuff in the tissue, and it does get a yellowish tone. And depending on how crappy the person is that does the embalming, they can be bright yellow, or they can be kind of just like a dull, kind of like off-white color. And then they also said the waxy look. He said that's because there's no hydration in the skin. So he said he looked at these pictures and he says this doesn't look uncommon for what he sees, and he's done probably tens of thousands of bodies by now. But he did say the hand size difference, while they will shrink a little bit because they lose moisture, because there's no more blood flow, obviously, he said that they do look kind of undersized. So there may be something there.
That's an interesting take on it. I mean, obviously the bones aren't going to shrink that, that much, but there could be some with the joint fluid and things like that, some shrinkage going on.
Yep.
Interesting.
Let's see. You two are on the ball. So she and I really just started doing these live streams together within like the last week or so. I believe this is our third.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yesterday went crazy.
Was
had, like-
super impromptu, and
Yeah.
Matt came in and literally saved the day. So thank you, because I really, really appreciate it. And last night was wild.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that video's still going wild on X.
Yeah.
Is it over 500,000? I don't know.
Yeah, well over 500,000.
Yeah. Let's see. Tanya's 8596. Thanks for being a member. No bullet, no gun, no autopsy, no burial, no gravesite, no crime scene tampering arrests. Not buying it. And that right there is exactly why people will still look into it, even if they have a truce. Kelly, I joined.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't believe in body conscious identity politics. I believe in soul transcending the body. That must be a conversation you're having with each other in chat, I think. Now, let me check the polls. Is that poll? Wow, this chat is flying. All right, there's caught up. All right, so let's do a poll. Will they truce? Keep it simple. Will they truce? Will they make up? There's always a chance, but just like Russia and Ukraine, they may be cordial for a period of time. They might have a talk and get an understanding, and then a week later, new information comes in, and Candace is like, "I found this thing. Like we're back in." And I think that's probably more likely, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
Why aren't you trying harder to figure this out? Oh my gosh. So the amount of hours that are put into this stuff and the research, like I know I can't speak for you, but I know a lot of times, you'll be up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning researching this stuff and creating the content. I mean, and we're limited by certain resources. Like
Yeah.
I don't have access to the stuff that police do or the FBI. And if we use any resources, we have to pay for them out of pocket. So if I want to do some kind of big search on someone or something, then I have to pay that out of my pocket myself. And obviously, we do make some income on some of these platforms, but it definitely doesn't. It's not lucrative. We'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much. It has to be a labor of love to say it, to put it mildly. To persevere through all of this, you have to do it because you have a true desire to get to the bottom of it. I mean, otherwise you'll fizzle out. Yeah.
Let's see
And
what.
I think I see someone says everyone does, each one does what they can. And that's why the beauty of collaboration is such a wonderful thing. And that's the silver lining of all of this is that people like Matt, take extend a hand to people like me, and we're able to, even though we've never met in person, be able to hopefully put our heads together along with you guys in the chat, and together we just keep chipping away.
I'm gonna have to take you out shooting sometime.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Roswell, Erika should be home comforting her babies. I'm glad you brought this up. How can so even besides her, just their relationship. So you have a CEO of a company. You have her with her several companies. She has her athletic wear. She has the Bible 365 where they're like reading, and then I thought she has some kind of faith podcast. And I think she also has a realty company, or she's a realtor, which is another thing that's supposedly supposed to be happening with TPUSA, which is weird. But so you have that. And then you have him. He's the CEO. He's also on the board. And they have other smaller companies. There's 4 companies: TPUSA Faith, TPUSA Action, TPUSA, and then what's the other one? Endowment. That's what it was.
Yes.
TPUSA Endowment. So he has all of those that he has to run, and he's constantly on the road and speaking and doing engagements. How the hell do they spend any time with their kids? I mean, I don't like. I have children. I couldn't even imagine trying to spend even right now, just doing what I'm doing. I don't say it's not hard to find time for them because I make time for them, but I couldn't imagine running all these companies and being on the road all the time, and their mother having that as well. That's insane.
Yeah. It seems absolutely impossible. And then now, her being the single parent, the sole parent, but thank you, Karen Miller, because I was just about to get to that point. It sent me over the edge last night. Oh, goodness. Yeah, when Erika made this comment, and during all people, I think she made it during her response to Hunter Kozak. Um, but she said something along the lines of, if parents have a choice that, if they want to go to Pilates and they just want to put their kid in the corner with an iPhone and have them stuck to the iPhone for, watching whatever for 10 minutes. I mean, I guess basically they can either be a truth teller or an assassin, you pick. Ugh.
All right, let's look at this poll. Will they truce? 85% say no, 15% say yes. So this is possibly going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between these two women. And if you ever watched Candace Owens and Charlie together, I get the impression that they were in love with each other. Now, if it was like you said, like, is it romantic? Is it not romantic? The way they flirt and play,
Mm-hmm.
especially Candace,
Yeah.
I got the immediate feel. If I saw this in person and I had two friends and she was acting that way towards the guy, I would be like, just ask him out, right? Or let him know, like, obviously she likes you. You can tell that, right? So is this like two women fighting over one guy and the guy is gone now? I mean, that could make it very awkward too. And is Erica going to give her that conversation like Charlie? Because she said he's my husband, right? He's my this, he's my that. That's kind of weird to say. Who's she saying that to? Just like when she's talking about this other stuff, like these conspiracy theorists, it's pretty clear she was talking about Candace.
Yes. I think that she also was jealous to have someone else mourning
Mm.
Charlie in a more public way than her.
With a bigger audience,
Mm-hmm.
more attention.
And in a more seemingly authentic way.
Hmm.
Because Erica does not have the ability to I don't think that she has the ability to fight for even if she had absolutely zero knowledge of anything that could potentially have been going into 910. I don't think that she's got it in her to investigate the case an iota of the way that Candace has. And she knows it.
Let's see. That's rather speculative and overestimates Erica's interest. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is speculation, right?
Yeah.
These are opinions, and we spend a lot of time in this arena.
Oh,
You find a good one?
yeah. I see someone mention that they were sleeping in separate bedrooms, and I want to mention that. I wish that I had this this little soundbite pulled up, but this was a good one. Really telling, you guys. I get excited when I'm there. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was a good one." Okay, it was from the Jesse Waters interview. I feel like I'm letting you guys in on something that you might have missed. It was the Jesse Waters interview, which was, like, I don't know, 2 hours long. Very, very long. But she was describing the night before the incident, and she said that Charlie kind of like woke up, or that the daughter came into the room 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and so she sent Charlie off to her 3-year-old's bed, and I'm thinking, Charlie is 6'4". What kind of bed is he sleeping in the toddler's room? Okay. The night, but in the couple of hours before he's got to go and speak, have his first college event of the season. Anyway, none of that added up to me. It sounded so suspicious. And so I just would suggest if you go back and review it. It's been, a month, 6 weeks since we've seen that one, but it's definitely worth looking at, and if you go back and watch it, I think you will also.
She also mentioned that she didn't tell him that she loved him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she meant the next morning or that evening, but
And she didn't give him a kiss. She didn't give him a kiss until he was, deceased on the table in the hospital.
yep, Michael Sanchez is all theater.
It just it was a very bizarre, unnecessary story to tell. I think that left a lot more questions than answers. And it just she'd already talked about that he had back issues and how hard it was for him to sleep. And I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't you just go into your daughter's bedroom and rest in there for a couple of hours till he had to get up? Instead, you send Charlie into the little girl's room.
All right, so we have this talking about the nation state issue. So yeah, I think there was I can't remember who mentioned it. I want to give him credit, but I can't remember who said this. It was an ex post, but he basically said Charlie was pulling away and was very clear that he was pulling away from that cause and disagreed with some things and was rejecting some donors and was starting to feel differently about the way they were bullying him and treating him badly. Excuse me. And then it comes out after he dies, they go the opposite direction, extreme the opposite direction, and they do the book. They do apparently they've accepted those donors that he rejected, and they're also pushing that he was like the most pro nation state person ever on the planet, right?
Mhm.
So they're overcompensating, and that is very sketchy, and that wasn't what he wanted. And they're not inviting people who oppose what they believe to this America Fest that they're doing here shortly, which he would have done. So there's a lot of things that they're doing that he would not have approved of if he was here. And they say that they're honoring his image and they're honoring Charlie. And they say Charlie all the time, like Charlie would have wanted this and he would have, he would have pushed this thing. And they scrubbed his old videos off of social media. They're pulling out, I don't know if you guys know about this, but they're actually pulling a bunch of his old videos have been pulled off of YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. So it almost seems like they're trying to erase him and then go whatever direction they want to go. And that's clearly not what he would have wanted. Let's see. This one's for you. Pure Jonas. Do you think Candace met up with Charlie in Wyoming? I don't know anything about Wyoming.
So Candace went to Wyoming for maybe, was it a week or a little bit more? Gosh, maybe early October or so. And I remember her talking about fishing and whatnot when she came back from that, I think. So there was a little bit of speculation about if perhaps she'd um, had a Charlie encounter there, because she'd been on a fishing trip, I believe, with Charlie before, and Charlie did not like fishing.
Yeah, I saw that. He looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right. So someone's asking, what does Erika want? We don't know, but she definitely initiated. She wants them to stop. But definitely she it's a power move on her part. And I think this whole tour, like this book tour, this media tour, everything that's happening, I think is all like her kind of like, pumping up her chest.
Power, power, power. It all ties into the overall expansion of TPUSA, the expansion of the brand, the just continuing to capitalize on the name. And I was thinking today, I'm like, once we get past the holidays, they told us they were going to have the Super Bowl party, right? The counter halftime show. So we won't be done with them. We won't be done with them.
Let's see. Either we have some bots or we have some rude people in the chat, and I think it's gonna bother me. They're saying that I'm bald. They're very observant.
Oh my goodness. What is
Oh my
wrong with
gosh.
these people?
You guys are very intelligent. Very intelligent. I just ignore that stuff so you can have fun, but obviously you'll get banned and blocked if you keep doing it because you're bothering other people as well. I'll give you an opportunity to do the right thing. Let's see. Yeah, people are saying the bots are here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we have that means we're striking a chord in the best way, right?
Let's see. Huggy wuggy teeth. That's funny. I didn't see that in the chat. And while we're looking at questions, make sure you go over to Kelly Raybon. She is Kelly Raybon on YouTube, and you can see for anyone that's here that's new, she has 598 subs. She needs
Man, y'all
1,000.
are coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank
But
you.
when we started the stream, she had 450, I believe. So she's gotten
Thank
about,
you. Yes, you guys are
yeah.
coming through.
So she's gotten more than 100 subs. So let's keep it going. If you guys can go over there to Kelly Raybon, either during or after, and sub and let's get her over 1,000, because then she can get
Thanks,
monetized and
guys.
she can make money for all of her hard work.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. We're definitely going max. Am I French? No, I am not French. I wish I could, I don't
You
know. I
claim
wish I
that?
could at least speak French, but I'm boring.
I'm just looking one more time for updates from Erika or Candace. Yeah, I still don't see anything new.
Let's see. There's one here. I wish I could highlight the comments. There's one that says, we as humans are born with BS detectors, and we can feel when someone is coming from the heart, especially women, as we need that to survive. Don't feel that from Erica. I just don't. And I am with you.
All right, so we have this one here. Mrs. Miss. Okay. I just joined. Can you tell me what you think about everything that Candace is saying? Do you want to give kind of like a summary recap for the people that are newer on here?
Sure. Well, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Um, oh, and I see I'm going to need a moderator in the future. Okay, will do.
Yeah, you just you can use Nightbot for free. I can help you set that up.
Okay, I'll definitely get that going next time. Okay, so we went through a wide variety, and once we kind of wrapped, then you can kind of go back and hear all of the different. We went through a ton of different
Allegations,
allegations, I guess you could say, that Candace has made, the high points, and
motives,
oh, what's that?
motives.
Motives, different knocks on, say, Mikey McCoy, discrepancies with with lies, with tall tales. And yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting. We also think that Erica is kind of bullying or strong arming Candace a little bit with her approach, because it seems that she was the one who needed to make the announcement herself, and then allow Candace to share her initial announcement. We think that she will be hosting Candace at TPUSA, but we don't know that for sure.
Yep.
Did I leave anything out? We don't know exactly what time it might be happening, but we, of course, will be standing by. I'm a little personally leery of the whole thing. I don't think she's going to get hurt, but, I'm just leery of how this all came together.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to give a temporary reprieve or it's going to get significantly hotter and things are going to get a lot worse. But kind of just give you like a quick overview. So we talked about the allegations against the TPUSA leadership. So that was, Tyler Boyer and Frank and TPUSA Faith leadership and that kind of stuff. But all the reports that she was talking about, like maybe there were allegations that maybe they were involved in his death. And you had Andrew Colvett, and he basically was, say there was death threats the night before the shooting, and then he kind of denied it, and then he erased all of his social media or made it private, which is very strange. And it seems like a lot of the TPUSA top brass are doing the same thing. And then the let's see, that's that. And then Brian Harple and the security team. So she was saying that there was no 911 call. That has technically been confirmed by some people. They did a kind of like a FOIA type request and verified that the 911 call never happened from the security team. So that one has actually kind of been proven. And then just overall, like the security team and the way they're acting. I know Baron Coleman tonight was pointing out, the way they're signaling and that kind of stuff as well. So a lot of people have this same thought. It's not just her. And then she talks about, foreign governments. She talks about other nation states, specifically about Macron and his wife that she alleges is a man. We talked about that. And then we talked about the financial issues, all the implications from like wolves in finance. The people saying that they're maybe like money laundering or using shell companies to move money around and paying politicians and just, that kind of stuff. And we do know that Tyler Boyer was pardoned by President Trump for fraud with elections. So there are things that have happened that could, maybe there's something to these things. We don't know yet. And then just like, the public pushback. So Erika and Candace kind of going after each other and really just posturing, right? So that's kind of a summary of what we talked about.
That's a solid summary. My goodness.
I didn't even have to practice.
Just comes natural.
No, Hunter's dad, yes. Just kidding. If you know, you know. I like that name. Hunter's dad works on Jimmy Kimmel's show. Yep. So Hunter Kozak. And now, okay, do you want to talk about the Hunter Kozak weirdness?
There's so much weirdness with Hunter Kozak. Okay. Well, for one, he was part of the Un-F America tour. I, of course, did not know anything about that before 9/10. And basically, it was a group of people, kind of a movement that was a counter to TPUSA and some of their ideals, right? And they would actually go to their events around the country and sort of infiltrate and try to cause problems, heckle, plant themselves in line, etc. And Hunter had been kicked out of events before, things like that. So he was no stranger to TPUSA events. And I find it quite interesting that he was there, that he was in line, that he was asking the question at the time of the alleged shot. And, many, including myself, have speculated that perhaps he was handpicked and maybe even chosen to ask that particular question at that particular time. There, I said it.
And he also
Yeah.
and he, he's at the town hall yesterday.
And so then turns around, he's at the town hall yesterday and he is asking a question that actually ties in to, he's asking about President Trump and his like violent rhetoric toward liberals. Erika, of course, did not answer the question directly at all. And that's when she gave the half-ass answer about kids being on iPads while their moms are doing Pilates for 10 minutes. But yes, he has a family full of Hollywood connections, including his father, who works on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He is a producer there who's been there for many, many years. And that is interesting because, as you might recall, the Jimmy Kimmel show was taken off air for, I think it was about a week. But that was a big national ordeal.
Almost canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, it was essentially canceled. And then, yeah, I mean, so many people canceled their Disney subscriptions, their Hulu subscriptions, all of that in response to Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air. Had all sorts of repercussions. So, yeah, that's the long and the short of Hunter Kozak.
The saga. All right, so let's see. We have a couple super chats. We like intensity. I'd rather have a friend like Candace than a wife like Erika. Erica thought that if she forgave Robinson, that it would end all of this and get people to move on and accept this BS narrative. Now, that just brought up another thought to me, right? The pro or anti death penalty. So Charlie was pretty open that he was for the death penalty, and he would quote the Bible and say that basically if someone took, like, say, your brother's life, and then you take that person's life, it's like a life for a life, and that was accepted. And he believed in that. And I think initially everyone was pushing this, like Trump and several other interviews that were very strange, by the way, were just like, let's kill him, like death penalty. Even at the initial police and FBI briefing, when they first caught him after 33 hours, they said they didn't catch him. Obviously, he turned himself in. They said the same thing. We have the death penalty here, right? So it's very strange. Like from the very beginning, they want to push, like, kill this guy. So this made me think about that, because now she's saying that she's not necessarily thinking that he should get the death penalty, which would go against what she and everyone else initially said and what Charlie believed in. So that's yet another thing that she's doing that's not consistent with her husband's wishes and his habits and the way they lived.
Yeah, it's does not make sense.
Sabrina RN, thanks for becoming a new member. Make sure you hit that like. That's the only thing that makes YouTube push this out, and this is the only thing that makes it happy, to be honest. So if you can hit that like, that would be great. And make sure that if you are not subscribed already to Kelly Raybon, you go over to her channel on YouTube and also to X, and it's Kelly, Keli, Raybon, Rabon. And I'll put that here on the banner again.
Well, y'all make sure that you're checking out Trigger Smart too, just on the off chance that you ended up here through my little stream. Make sure that you are subscribed to Trigger Smart as well. Matt is absolutely amazing. As you can tell, he's the level-headed one of the two of us.
Let's see, another super. Niche Buckley, thanks for the super. If TPUSA has nothing to do with any of this, how does answering questions affect the case? If the jury knows TPUSA has nothing to do with it, then it wouldn't help. Or let's see, it had nothing to do with it. Wouldn't it help the case against Tyler Robinson? It's a good question, because I've had this thought. What if they start this? I mean, this could be a long trial. This trial could be, a year. But what if they just come out and they have 8K footage of Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger and smiling and saying, "I hate you, Charlie"? What if they have that? We don't know. They could have all of that and just not be releasing it because they think it's going to hurt the case or something. That's completely possible. Now, in that case, would everyone stop looking into it? I don't know. I think a lot of people wouldn't buy that. And I've also heard that this judge was appointed new, and he was also searched like some of the other people previous. So it makes you wonder. But
it does. I think it does make you wonder, but I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, I definitely respect and admire, Baron has done amazing work. I have a hard time recreating the Google Trends consistently. I don't know. I know you've done some, or I believe that you've done some videos about the Google Trends, but I just have personally a tough time recreating them consistently. And as a reporter for us, it was a potential story generator to see if it was something that people were talking about as like an idea generator more often than it was kind of in reverse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've heard a few different things about the algorithm, but and I also understand that it's for a period of time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever was trending and the way you search it can change over time as well.
Yeah.
So like I know a lot of people said they couldn't recreate most of those after the fact. Let's see, Grislock, thanks for the super chat. Breaking news: Rob Reiner and his wife has been unalived. I did see that. It's very sad. It looks like a homicide. And let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I know this is not Erika Kirk. information, but it's still pretty sad. Let's see, can I pull this up? Not CNN. Come on. I know better than that. Trying to get a picture of him pulled up here.
I can't remember who I got the initial push alert from.
Wow. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember movies that he was in. I know he's more of a director than anything. But as this guy here, they found him and his wife, and there appears to be some kind of homicide. They're still looking into it. Obviously, this is like fresh this evening. But he's a leftist. So I don't know if this is like a political thing. Maybe he said something or did something, but it could just be a hit. I mean, this stuff happens, unfortunately. But yeah, rest in peace, him and his wife, and hopefully they can figure out what happened. That kind of stuff
Hopefully
happens a little bit too often.
Definitely. Mm. Well, how we doing, everybody? I think, or how's everybody feeling?
I think we I think we basically covered it, and I see the bots are alive again here.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Sorry. I'm like, I tried to scroll. I'm like, I'm trying to police it now.
One, it's not
I
even
gotta get
good.
somebody to help me out.
It's not even good. Like the quality of it. I would expect with AI that these bots would be more creative. But yeah, just I think you can right click it or hit the
Yes,
triple
I'm
and
working on it. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, tomorrow we'll definitely know more for sure. And I think this was a good review of kind of what the allegations are, what they might talk about, what the motives might be, and now we just wait. And if you're worried about Candace, you can pray for her, or if you don't, if you're not religious or whatever, then just hope she's good, and then maybe we'll get good news, and maybe this will light a fire. Maybe she will come back stronger with a live stream tomorrow night or Tuesday, and just go go max, right?
Go max times 2.
Ultra max.
Ultra max. But it will be interesting with, AmFest coming up this week. And let's just hope. I'm not ready to see Candace, though, up on the AmFest stage, because if I do see that, that's going to bother me. That's going to feel a little too close, a little too strange to me.
So we have another super chat. Beautiful Messy Ball. Thanks for the super chat. We all have to remember that Erika said that she has not watched the footage. So she has not seen all of what we've seen. She only knows what she's been told. I think we need to use grace all around.
You want me to take this one?
Yep, go for it.
Look, if it was, let alone my husband, if it was my friend, if it was my neighbor, if it was somebody I knew from, my kid's school, okay, you better believe I would be watching that footage and I would be fighting for that person. That's me. And instead, I see her making time to promote her image and herself, and making choices to do other things. And so I think that is really tough for a lot of people. I think there are a lot of people who struggle with that, myself included. So, I mean, I think we had grace for quite some time, but it's gotten pretty tough.
Yeah, and I think if anyone has come in just now, or if you've only been here for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, go back and watch the whole thing. We kind of cover from start to finish all the allegations from Candace, and especially against TPUSA, but also against Erika Kirk and specific people. And I think it's a pretty good review, especially if something actually comes out of the meeting tomorrow, so you kind of get an idea of what they're talking about. Everyone, thanks for being here for sure. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the members, and go check out Kelly Raybon on X and Instagram and YouTube. And that's Kelly, Keli Raybon, Rabon. And for your subscribers on your side, if you guys want to come over and check me out, it's Trigger Smart on YouTube and Trigger Smart HQ on X. And I think I don't know. We might possibly go live tomorrow if anything interesting comes out of this meeting. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes. Fingers crossed, you guys. Fingers crossed for something. I don't know what we're hoping for at this point, but something positive, some new information, and let's just keep it moving. Y'all keep digging. You know we will too.
Maybe some closure, right? Maybe some pieces of the investigation will be closed by answers that she gets that she's satisfied with, or maybe there's proof. Maybe Erika shows her proof that certain things happened. I don't know.
Yeah, let's close up some pieces of this investigation. That would be really nice.
Let's see. We have a couple super chats here. You sneaky people. Sneaky, sneaky. I have to make sure they are appropriate first. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Dr. Hale 88, thanks for the super chat. Was going to give this to Baron, but Superman's Clark Kent ID was CJK. Charlie something Kirk. Given the neck explanation in the Dairy Queen poster, funny but not funny. That's interesting, actually, because the DQ poster was Superman.
It was, yep.
Very interesting. Is that part of the conspiracy?
Mm-hmm.
Is Marvel behind this?
Right.
Allegations. Peggy's Place, thanks for the super chat. Meeting just between Erika and Candace, think there would only be one way Candace would stop talking about Charlie. That's if Charlie's alive. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're seeing.
Okay, well, wait, I'll wait till we're done with the super chats and then I have a question.
Okay. We lacked intensity. Thanks for another super chat. Candace said that next they will offer her money to hush up and be silent. Maybe that's the plan for tomorrow. Yeah, we actually didn't discuss that.
Ooh.
That's another angle. But does she need money? Would money be enticing enough?
But would she take it? I mean, look, they just are flush with cash. They just got $150+ million in the last 3 months.
Ivan is Ivan. Thanks for the super chat. It's all about money and political control. The state wants Gaza to be the ultra resort. And I believe that Trump said that, didn't he? He said at one point they thought about making it like beachfront property, making it beautiful, making it great again. With billionaires making billions. To hear Rob promote the state is crazy. Money, power, and control. Yeah. I think they want the land. I don't know what's there. I don't know if it's like rich in minerals and oil and that kind of stuff. I think I heard that it was. And now he's also going after Venezuela, and people say he's after the oil there. Maybe there's a pattern.
I think there's some beach land too, because I believe Candace might have also said something early on about your, kids, your future generations playing on those beaches, something like that she'd said that was pretty pointed.
This is a good point too. Candace doesn't need the money, but she might take it just to get the info. Yeah, just to get in there and get close. I mean, even just to look around, just to see how things are. I know she has informants inside of TPUSA, she said. So maybe she's getting the information she needs already. All right, we are done with super chats. We appreciate everyone. Make sure you hit that like on the way out. And again, check out Kelly. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. Good night. Rest up. Tomorrow's a new day with a whole lot more excitement.